I think if Justin Fields goes out and lays another egg against New England, if it's the first half, maybe there's a change at halftime again. He goes to Tyrod for the second half. If he plays poorly just overall, maybe you go to Tyrod against Baltimore and, see if he can spark something in this offense.
Hello and welcome to Gangs All Here. My name is Ryan Sampson. That's our Jets beat writer, Brian Costello. Today is Monday, November 10th. The New York Jets get their second win of the season against the Cleveland Browns in a barn burner of a game, 27-20, as Kaz was there yesterday. We're going to get his thoughts about that game, what the quarterback situation was, as the passing game was not pretty yesterday for the Jets, but they did get the win. And despite all that, we'll talk a little bit about where Aaron Glenn is going here with the rest of the season with the quarterback situation. We'll get into Breece Hall, his performance. We'll get into the defense. And then we'll maybe talk a little bit about this Jets-Patriots game coming up on a short week. But before we get to any of that, Kaz, how you doing, sir?
I'm not answering any questions about the quarterback, Ryan. Okay, let's right up front. Don't waste my time. I'm not answering. Okay.
I won't. I won't waste your time because clearly Aaron Glenn does not want to waste our time with that as well. But I'll start with just your overall thoughts on the fact that the Jets were able to get their second win of the season. Wasn't a pretty one, but I want to hear what your thoughts
No.
were.
Look, the Jets are not in a position where we need to be evaluating quality of wins, right? A win is a win. You take it and move on. I think it's important. I think this team needs to learn how to win, and they've won the last 2 weeks, and they won games that maybe they would have lost in past years or a few months ago. We've seen them, invent ways to lose. That they've been good at that the last few years. On Sunday, it was the Browns who committed an unbelievable holding penalty on 3rd and 17 or whatever it was. And it's the Browns who jumped off sides on 4th down when everyone in the whole building knew the Jets weren't snapping the ball, and they still jumped off side. So the other team did it. So take it. And I think the Jets need wins here as Aaron Glenn's trying to establish his program. So yes, is that formula of scoring two return touchdowns and having one screen pass that goes for 42 yards a sustainable way to win games? No. But I think it's important for the Jets to taste winning. It was a happy locker room again. I think that's important.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I couldn't agree with you more, Kaz, about the fact that this team needs those wins to get the gritty wins like they did at the end, test them in situations. It's good also for the coaching staff. It feels like for game situation and like how we're going to manage down the stretch that final drive. I thought it was important for them to get that first down on the first play on that last drive,
Yeah.
just to like establish like, hey, we actually have a chance to close this one out. Let's do it, and they did. So let's talk about this offense though. Look, Aaron Glenn has been playing the game of I'm not going to name a starting quarterback. It sounded like before the game against Cincinnati, like he maybe was leaning towards going to Tyrod, but until Tyrod got hurt and had that knee injury pop up, it's like, you know what, we're going to go back to Justin. We'll see how it goes. And that was after Woody Johnson had made those really harsh comments about Justin Fields and his play. But then they go out and they have this, great offensive game, a 500 yards of offense against the worst defense in the NFL, you could argue. So you had to go back to Justin after the bye week, right? It's more of the same yesterday with Justin Fields. So I want to hear where you think this is going with the quarterback situation, despite the struggles. Like, how is Aaron Glenn and Tanner Engstrand going to manage this going forward between Justin and maybe Tyrod?
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to manage it, Ryan. I can give what I think they should do. Look, it's a short week, so I don't think you can make a change this week. The Jets really don't even have a practice, right? We're recording this on Monday.
Yeah.
They'll meet today. They'll walk through some corrections and stuff. Tuesday, they'll have a light practice, but it's 2 days after a game. You're not doing a ton. And then Wednesday is the day before a game, and you're doing, they're traveling. They're doing walkthroughs, that kind of thing. So I think it'd be very hard, even with a veteran, to change quarterbacks on a short week. But then you've got extra time before Baltimore. So I think if Justin Fields goes out and lays another egg against New England, if it's the first half, maybe there's a change at halftime again. He goes to Tyrod for the second half. If he plays poorly just overall, maybe you go to Tyrod against Baltimore and, see if he can spark something in this offense. It's not like Tyrod Taylor is going to be Joe Montana or anything here, but, it's hard to even evaluate receivers right now.
Oh, yeah.
And right, the Jets are going to have to make decisions on John Mechie and AD Mitchell and Tyler Johnson. And Uh, Isaiah Williams, like, do they bring these guys back next year in the receiving room? And I don't really think they're getting a fair shake right now. They threw 11 passes on Sunday. It's hard to two of them. He completed two passes past the line of scrimmage, which is pretty incredible. So tough to judge that stuff. So I think Tyrod at least could give you a competent offense. But like I said, I don't think anything's happening this week.
Yeah, it's interesting you say nothing's going to happen this week on the short week. I mean, look, Isaiah Williams is your leading wide receiver with 4 yards receiving yesterday. That's almost impossible to do in today's NFL to win a football game, let alone and only have
Yeah.
four yards receiving for your leading receiver. I mean, I, look,
What's crazy, Ryan, what's crazy is I feel like those of us who've been watching the Jets, we've seen this before. Like, remember like 2022 when they were playing around Zach Wilson,
yeah,
right? Like they were winning all those games like in Green Bay and Denver, and it was like they were playing basically around him. And then even in 2023 when Aaron Rodgers got hurt and like they had the game against the Giants, the Tommy DeVito game, where it was basically they were playing without a quarterback and they won that game. It's crazy. Like we've seen this so many times. It's nuts. And I thought this summed it up to me today was Aaron Rodgers had some nice, or Aaron Glenn had some nice things to say about Justin Fields today, about him throwing an interception. So he was praising him, which I get for being aggressive because we've talked about he needs to be more aggressive. So Aaron Glenn was complimenting him on being aggressive, which was an interception. So it's kind of I'm not sure I've ever seen that one before.
it's like
A
Aaron
coach
Boone.
praising.
It's Aaron Boone defending his players when they do bad plays. I thought we had a really good approach. Like, I think guys put some good swings on balls, but none of them actually went out or none of them became a base hit. It's like Justin's not even
Yeah,
completing the ball downfield. That's the issue. Like, you need a balance in offense. And I know I sound hysterical or like I'm complaining, but it's like, look, you're not going to win many football games. In fact, it was
yeah,
225-0 when an opposing defense holds an offense to 175 yards or less with no turnovers. It's like it never happens. So that was a miracle that they won that game yesterday. But if you want balance and you want to actually be competitive in football games, we're going to see more of the same, Kaz, I feel like, in this week against the Patriots, where you're down 3 scores early because your offense can't get anything going, and the rest of it's going to be garbage time stat padding. You need to have a balanced attack. You have to be able to throw the ball downfield. And like you said, to an even better point, you got to evaluate these wide receivers. Who knows what Arian Smith is? The guy's barely getting a chance out there to run routes. So when he is getting open, he's not even getting the shot down the field with the ball because Justin's refusing to pull the trigger in the right moment. So would it shock you if they bench him at halftime when they're down big against the Patriots in this upcoming week?
no, no, it wouldn't shock me. I was thinking it yesterday, honestly.
Yeah.
Yesterday was weird at halftime because the first quarter was such a weird quarter because they had the two returns, so the offense really wasn't on the field very much. So I was like, he's probably going to say he not enough of a sample size to bench him off of, and but I thought at halftime I was thinking about it,
Me
right?
too.
When they came out after the second half, my binoculars were on the sideline to see if Tyrod was putting his helmet on. So yeah, it would not shock me if that happens Thursday night.
Yeah, I want this Jets franchise to finally become a modern NFL offense. And like I give him credit for sticking with the run with Breece because that turned out to be the key to winning this game at the end was using
Yeah.
Breece both in the run and pass game. But there's going to be all these opposing teams who are just going to say, we're going to continue to stack the box. You're not going to be able to run the ball against us. We'll force Justin to throw the ball. And it's going to be an easy formula for opposing defenses to win these football games. So I'm going to be paying attention like you are. How early can Aaron Glenn pull the trigger if he sees this offense is sputtering again and it's not moving the ball at all in the passing game? Let's talk about Breece Hall, though, Kaz. Again, 21 carries, 83 yards rushing, 4 yards a carry. He had that one catch that obviously went for the touchdown on the screen pass. This is 2 weeks in a row, or 2 games in a row, I should say, where Breece has really taken over for this offense and shown how special, and we talked about it last week, a home run hitter. So
Yeah.
is this more evidence of why the Jets shouldn't have traded him and held on to him like they did? And should they extend him in the offseason?
Yeah, I think those are two different questions. As far as this season, yeah, like where would the Jets have been Sunday without Breece Hall offensively, right? I mean, he did it all for them. So that was what we're kind of talking about is if they traded him, the Jets offense was going to be non-existent, especially with Garrett banged up. Garrett's not reliable right now. So Breece is really their only option. In terms of next year, yeah, I mean, I think he's making a case for himself. He's a good back, right? Like he's a good running back, and he can be a nice piece of the offense going forward. So I think they need to try to figure something out, whether that's a contract for 3 years, something like that, or if they're going to end up using one of the tags on him. I think he should be here in 2026 because you're also if you let him go, you're creating another hole
Yep.
on your team. And why would you do that?
Yeah.
Unless his demands are just so outrageous. And Brian Dable has been fired.
Oh my God.
Ryan.
Wow. Wow. Well, we'll finish up here quickly, Kaz. For
I'm sure you got to go do a Giants
We gotta go
podcast
do a
now,
Giants
Ryan, right?
pod and get that cranking. Man, holy crap! They fired Brian Dable. That's crazy. Look, for the Breeze part two, I do wonder like it'd be good to have him as a weapon for that rookie quarterback potential that you could be
Yeah,
taking in the draft. And it feels like you'd be putting that rookie in a tougher spot if you're asking him to develop with another rookie running back or another, young running
yep,
back that's unproven. So I just feel like that would be a better support system with a Garrett and a Breece for a potential rookie quarterback.
yeah, yeah. We've talked about that a few times, right? It's like the Sam Darnold conversation is an interesting one right now. And it's pretty clear the Jets didn't necessarily get that pick wrong. The Jets didn't have the right people here to develop him and support him. And, when you look back at some of those games and you look at who he was playing with, it's pretty rough. So I think that's a good point. I think they need to have as strong an offense, especially around him. It's good defense too, but to help a rookie quarterback develop and come along quickly, if that's the direction they're going, which I think is the route we expect them to take in 2026.
Yeah, it would. It's just I love Brees. I love the player. I think he's so talented, and I just would love to see him stay here and help build this team the right way. And I think he like we've seen the last two games, he could take over, and he could be
Yeah.
really special with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, and
Wrap.
he had some runs
Oh my
yesterday,
God.
right? Because like you talk about like stacking the box where they were stacking the box, and I just watched that one he broke in the fourth quarter on the left sideline. Like there was a guy right in the hole, and he popped it outside and went I think 30 yards or something like
Yeah,
that. So yeah, he's impressive.
he really is. Final thing, Kaz, for you. Look, the Jets have a tough schedule going down here. Like they have a lot of teams like Baltimore, the Bills again, the Patriots obviously twice. How many more wins are this Jets team really going to get? And is it all really
I don't
dependent?
think it's that crazy a schedule, Rye. Like,
Really,
you think it's that tough?
I do.
Like the next 2 weeks are tough. I have my schedule over my computer here. The
It's
next 2 weeks are tough.
Patriots
So
and
New
at
England
the
and Baltimore are
Ravens.
tough.
Yep,
But Atlanta, I don't know what Atlanta is.
they just gave the
And
Colts a run for their money.
okay, I know the Dolphins just beat the Bills too, right? Like
That
crazy
was a
things
trap
happen in
game.
this
That was a
league.
trap game.
Oh, but every week there's just crazy things happen. Okay, so I'm not saying you're not going to sit here and tell me the Atlanta Falcons are definitely beating the Jets.
I
No,
think
there's
they
no
are. I
question in
think
your
they
mind.
definitely are
A
because
hundred percent. The
hundred
Jets don't have
percent
a chance in that
they
game.
don't have a chance in that
Oh my
game.
God. They got Mike, the quarterback isn't that good.
They almost beat the
Michael
Patriots
Penix
in
isn't
New
that good.
England too.
The Jets can beat the Falcons. I'm gonna go there. The Jets can beat the Dolphins. The Jets could beat the Jaguars. The Jets could beat the Saints.
Yes.
So that's 4 games I'm giving you they could win. I'm not saying they're winning those four, but let's say they split those four. That's two. You give me 2 wins, they
No.
get to 4 wins.
No.
And then the Jets always have one of these shocking you don't see coming wins. To me, it's that New England game at the end of the year. They're going to pull off an upset.
I think they already got their shocking win yesterday over the Browns.
Well, that was the Browns, though. No, I mean, like they upset a good team, like the Eagles, right? Eagles in 2023, they pull that off. Packers in 2022, they surprise everybody. Uh, Trying to think. Last year there wasn't many good ones. Houston was a surprise last year on Halloween. They were down. That one was a surprise, but yeah, I still think they can win 5 games, right?
I wish I had your hope. I really do. Not listen. If they go to Tyrod, I'd say they have a chance at 5 wins.
Okay, well they might go to Tyrod. They
Not
might.
this
I mean,
week.
I think at some point you're going to go to Tyrod. No, like they look the 3 games right now I'm looking at, and you're like I give them no shot. Are Thursday, next week in Baltimore, and Buffalo at the end of the year if Buffalo's playing for something, which it looks
Patriots.
like
Patriots
now they
need
will
that
be.
win. Patriots need that win at the end.
Okay, but the Patriots have a second year quarterback. They've he's playing great. He's still a second year quarterback. They're not like unbeatable. They're not the Kansas City Chiefs sitting there. The Jets could. It's a division opponent. The,
Are
maybe
we
it's a
watching the
trap game,
same?
Ryan. Maybe it's a trap
Are we
game.
watching the same Patriots team, Kaz? Come on.
Maybe it's a trap game. So you had the Dolphins beating the Bills yesterday?
It's a trap game. They always suck in They always suck in Miami.
Okay, but if I asked you Saturday, you said, "Oh, the Dolphins are going to beat the Bills."
I said they had a really good chance that the Dolphins upsetting the Bills. It's a trap game.
Crazy things happen in this league.
Certainly
Crazy things
so.
happen.
Jets are playing the
And you don't
Patriots.
know we don't even know who the like people get hurt too. You don't even know if someone could be hurt at some point, you know?
We'll see. That's Brian Costello. I'm Ryan Sampson. It's Gang's All here. We'll be back on Wednesday to preview the Jets Patriots short week. As always, follow all of our content here on the New York Post Sports YouTube channel. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch Kaz next time. Thanks, guys.